All right. Okay, good evening. Welcome to the May meeting of the New Jersey Electric Vehicle Association. I am Denis Burszan, the Secretary of the New Jersey EVA. My co-host here is Stan Jaracz, our president, and also I guess we could call you treasurer also because you're doing that job.
Hello,
So,
everyone. This is Stan, and thank you, everyone, for joining our meeting. Back to you,
okay,
Dennis.
let's go to the next slide if we would. Thank you. All right, we'd like to acknowledge our sponsors. The first one is the Borough of Madison, their DCFC sponsor. Uh, you see the number up there, it's $2,000. They sponsored us very generously. We have a level 2 charge sponsor also, Signature Detailing. They will give us a discount. Just tell them you're a New Jersey EVA member. And I have no level 1 charge sponsor unless we go to the next slide, which this year they dropped out. Okay, we went from the first level to the second level with signature detail. Okay, our member update. Give me a moment, we'll get to that. We're going to do member update, acknowledge our new members and our renewing members. A quick bit of news, what's national, international news for us. The status of DCFC infrastructure in the U.S. and home charge rescue. Tom Moloughney, he's the founder of State of Charge. He's our special guest today. We're going to do questions and answers for the DVOT, the Delaware Valley Tesla Owners Club. They've been invited to come join us. We'll get into that a little bit later. But they have an invitation to literally join us to become members of the New Jersey Electric Vehicle Association or Delaware Electric Vehicle Association, or if there's a Philadelphia chapter, them also, or the National EVA. We also have Scott Phillips, President of the Delaware Electric Vehicle Association. Are you there, Scott? Nope, not yet.
Yeah, I'm
Chris
here.
Celek. Oh, okay, great.
I was on mute. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Great to meet everybody.
Nice to meet you too. And we also have Chris Celek, our Executive Director of the National EVA. And then we'll discuss our next meeting. Next slide, please. Well, maybe. Okay. Our updated mission statement. We want to accelerating the adoption of electric vehicles. The mission of the Electric Vehicle Association is to accelerate the adoption of electric vehicles by empowering our nationwide member-driven network of local chapters to educate communities, share real-world EV experiences, and inform decision-making. EVA equips individuals and communities with unbiased, experience-based information about electric vehicles, provide national resources, and support for chapter-led outreach and educational events. Coordinate with policymakers and stakeholders by sharing member insights to inform decision-making. With chapters across the country, the EVA supports current and future EV drivers by providing clear, practical information that bridges real-world experience, policy, and community needs. The EVA is a 501c3 nonprofit, largely volunteer-run. All donations are 100% tax deductible. And you can find us on the internet, myeva.org nationally, or jerseyeva.org for us, the New Jersey Electric Vehicle. We'd like to acknowledge our new members, Jay Beckerman, Sayantan Josh, David Lax, Renewal, Abelardo Canesa. He's been a member for 3 years. And at the moment, we have 96 active members. We hope to go past 100 soon. Now, national news. Rather than go over news, we'd like to introduce Tom Moloughney at this moment so that we can do our question and answers. He's got a deadline of 7:30 at the latest, so we'd like to switch up our schedule a bit and introduce Tom. It's all yours, Tom. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Hello, everyone. We're going to be talking EV charging today, and I appreciate the invitation here tonight by Stan. I've been an EV member and to continue to be. And listen, please ask questions here if there's anything you have for me while I'm here. At least could probably hang a little bit later than 7:30. I originally said 7:30. Might be able to stay till about 7:35, 7:40-ish, but I have to go pick up my mom tonight, and so can't keep mom waiting. Dennis, let's start it. I understand you've got some questions for me.
All right, yeah. Give me one quick moment because I've got to figure out how to minimize my screen.
Okay. Well, while you're figuring that out,
Thank
in
you.
case people in the room here don't know who I am, my name's Tom Moloughney. I live in Chester, New Jersey, lifelong New Jersey resident. I've been writing and making videos about electric vehicles since 2009. I've owned either 12 or 13 different electric vehicles. I'm not sure. And I've been driving full-time electric vehicles as my daily driving car since 2009. I have a solar array on my house since 2010. So I've been powering my homes with all my EVs with clean, renewable electricity. And very soon I'm going to be installing on-site energy storage here at my house. So I'll be able to store all that solar that I'm making. It won't go back out to the grid the way it is now. The excess solar generation goes out to the grid. So I'll be storing everything in the house and making sure that I'm charging my cars and running my home on clean, renewable energy.
Okay. Our first question. This is a general topic for everybody. Trump administration was very vocal about clawing back the NEV funding, the New Energy Vehicle Initiative funding. Are new EV projects funded at this time? Can you give us an idea?
They were able to last year temporarily halt the NEVI funding program illegally. Well, at least that's how a judge saw it, and temporarily removed that restriction and opened up the NEVI program again. Now, I don't have all of the details, but I know specific states opened up their programs again. I think we have 17 states currently that are actively participating and filing for some of that money. And New Jersey is one of them. Although we haven't done a good job here, really, compared to some of the other states. Right out of the gate, it took us really long to get any type of applications, and there were some other states that did much better. That was a little disappointing. So yeah, right as of now, in many states, the program still is open. You can apply, but if you're asking for my opinion, I think, at some point that's going to, the Trump administration has been, constantly applying pressure and doing everything they can to repress electric vehicle sales and basically, do whatever they can to hold back the industry. I would imagine they still have people working on, getting the judge's temporary ruling overturned, and so that it won't last forever. The good news is, while it absolutely was very useful, private industry now is really picking up the ball and running with it without getting any federal funding. So that's not going to stop. It may not even slow down electric vehicle infrastructure.
As far as DCFC infrastructure grown in the U.S., so has it grown in the last 12 months? Have you
Absolutely.
noticed?
In the year 2025, we had by far the most growth that we've ever had in any single year for DC fast charging, and 2026 is shaping up to beat 2025. So, while the administration has done a lot to damage sales of electric vehicles, the companies are private enterprise now is picking up the ball with DCFC, understanding that this is the future and continuing to proliferate. I mean, for instance, I have stats here on Q1 2026. Anybody want to make a quick guess on how many sites and how many charge ports you think got installed in Q1? I don't want to wait long. That's a rhetorical question, I guess.
I think it's a lot more than you think.
Yeah.
617 sites opened in Q1 of 2026. 3,387 charging ports opened. That's in 3 months. So more than 1,000 DC fast charge plugs were installed per month in 2026. And Q1 is always the slowest month of the year. There's a lot of challenges with weather in the northern states, and that takes much longer to get equipment and get the crews installing things. So we're looking at most likely somewhere between 16 and 17,000 DC fast charging ports will be opened in the country in 2026 alone. Right now, well, as of the end of Q1 2026, we had 73,394 DC fast charging ports cumulative in the country and 13,708 sites. That's going to dramatically increase by the end of this year. You know, you're going to be looking at over 90,000 DC fast charging ports in the US. So yes, it's accelerating dramatically, mostly because of Tesla, Iona, Walmart, and Red E. EVgo also, but those 5 companies are installing the most so far this year, most sites.
Okay.
I just want to interrupt. Scott has a question. He raised a hand. Scott,
All right.
Go ahead, unmute yourself.
So thanks for the statistics. It's very rare that I learn something like statistic based. So thank you for that education. Yeah, I appreciate the impact that having all these new chargers will have on the people switching to EVs. But do you think that's is that a bigger deal, or is people getting, like, all brands getting access to the Tesla network a bigger deal?
That's great. A great question. Love the shades, by the way. You know, I don't know if you want to rate them 1 and 2. They're both extremely important. And you know, the Tesla, you can't underestimate how important it was for the other networks to be able to use Tesla superchargers. But that in itself wasn't going to be the end of the be all end all and create chargers everywhere. As great as Tesla is, and they're still occupy about 50% or slightly more, I think, of DC fast charge plugs in the country. Their percentage is lowering now. I mean, they were at like 80% not too long ago. Now they're at like 50%. We needed both things to happen, Scott. You know, we needed to have everyone to have access everywhere, and to other companies jump on with Tesla and just start installing these. I mean, you look at Iona, they say they're going to have 30,000 charging bays by 2030. Okay. Walmart network. Don't underestimate the Walmart network. They're just getting started. I'm actually flying to Arkansas tomorrow morning to meet with Walmart's general manager of EV charging, and we're going to interview at one of their sites in Arkansas. Walmart can be an enormous, that could be the 800-pound gorilla in the room that I think a lot of people don't realize. They have more money than God. They have the locations across the country, 5,200 locations where they have the real estate. They have hundreds of parking lots. So what they can do, if they really want to, if they want to say, let's put $5 or $6 billion into this and just light up the country, 90% of Americans live within 10 miles of a Walmart. So you have that. Then you have Iona with, you know, these 8 large automakers all coming together, each company putting nearly $1 billion into the pot and saying, we're going to light up the country. We're going to have, you know, both NACS and CCS at every location. We're going to have canopies. We're going to have, you know, some of the stalls, some of the places we're going to operate and have food and beverage, clean restrooms. So, you know, there's so much going on right now that it's hard not to get excited when you think of where we're going to be in 4 or 5 years.
Okay. Let's see. We've covered a couple of the pre-made questions already. Since prices for electricity have gone up last year, do you see charging providers offering prices based more on time of use, that they're trying to force you into off hours?
Absolutely. And that's going to continue. I think all of the networks at some point are going to have, time-based pricing, where if you want to come after 11 o'clock at night, you're going to save 15 cents a kilowatt hour or something like that. They have to. It's just, this is business as much as we look at it as, our existence relies on being able to have these chargers. It does come down to business, and they need to be able to. If these sites aren't profitable, they won't continue to put them in, and that's one piece of the puzzle of making them profitable. Lowering demand charges, having higher utilization by spreading it out, not having everyone charge, between 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock at night when they're driving home from work or in the morning right before work. So they have to kind of spread that out, and they're going to offer, I think the incentives are going to get even better. The price difference between charging at 3 o'clock in the afternoon between midnight, it could be 50% savings.
Okay. People complain about the need for multiple apps to use different networks. Has there been any kind of improvement since we last talked about this?
Not a lot, but I will say Iona doesn't have an app, which is pretty good. There, it's all, either plug and charge, where it depends if your manufacturer has plug and charge set up with Iona yet, or credit card based. Walmart, on the other hand, has taken the other approach. You have to use the Walmart app. And that's one of the things I'm going to talk to Adam Happel, who's their general manager of electric vehicle charging, tomorrow. Actually, it's Thursday morning, our discussion. That about the fact that that's not very user friendly, and his thoughts on whether or not Walmart's going to change that position. But in general, Dennis, I haven't seen much relief about that. But the one good thing about it is Iona has said we don't need an app. We don't want to burden our customers with that.
That's interesting. I've not seen a network that didn't have an app. And I have no Ionas near me, so I'm not familiar with them for that reason.
Well, let me explain something. Why Iona's not doing that. Iona's owned by these 8 large automakers. It's Mercedes, BMW, Kia, Hyundai, General Motors, Ford, Toyota, and Honda. And they all want their customers to continue to use their native app. They already have the app, like the Chevrolet app or the Ford Pass app. So they want their customers to continue using their app. So there's still an app involved. It's just that you don't need an extra app.
Oh, okay. All right. So you get the car, you get the app, and then you're done.
Right.
All right. It's almost like Tesla. Same concept. All right. Tell us about your charging rescue program. I've seen it, and it's very interesting. I like to see somebody else's having problems, not me.
Yeah. So the video series on State of Charge is called Recharge Rescue.
Okay.
And a couple of years ago, I realized we're starting to have a lot of failures at people's homes with charging equipment, whether it be poor installations, inferior products being used, do-it-yourselfers, people installing it themselves where they really shouldn't be doing that. And I was offering advice online on how to correct it, or people would contact me and say, Tom, do you know of a good installer for this? I want to make sure it gets done right. So then I decided to take it one step farther and actually go to their houses and fix their problems when somebody has a catastrophic problem at their house, a small fire because their charging circuit had a problem. And there's so many reasons why this can happen. Electricians, the charging circuits are under much greater stress than anything else in your house. There's no other circuit in your house that constantly has the amount of current passing through it many hours a day, every day of the week, than charging circuits do. So on a lot of other circuits, if the work isn't perfect, if it's slightly inferior, if they didn't do everything 100% right, you can have that circuit for, 20, 30 years, never have a problem. But if you have anything done wrong on an electric vehicle charging circuit, that problem will reveal itself. It's just a matter of how long it takes, whether it's a couple of months, a year or so. So now that people have had EVs for a while, we're starting to see some of the earlier installations a year or two ago failing drastically. NEMA 1450 outlets are burning up and so forth. So I go to people's homes when I identify someone. Usually they reach out to me, or somebody will post a picture online of like their burned charger and say, I don't know what happened here. And then somebody will comment, you got to talk to Tom. He'll fix it for you, and he'll find out what happened. So that's how I get these recharge rescues. So I fly to their homes. I do them all over the country. I've been to Washington, Portland, California, Texas, Maryland, Connecticut. I forget, probably more. And I go to people's homes. I bring a licensed contractor there. We rip out their circuit. We fix everything, and I give them a new charger. So it's been a very successful series. It's a public awareness campaign for me, more than anything. That I do this really just to raise awareness that, look, this is a serious problem. These have to be done right. If not, I mean, just think what will happen if an EV charger installed incorrectly burns down a house and someone dies. What will that do for the industry? It'll be preyed upon. We'll constantly be seeing it in the news. People will talk about it. These EVs are unsafe. I'm not putting that in my house. It's going to burn down my house. All because someone tried to save a few bucks and, had an unqualified person do the installation. So I do these to raise public awareness.
Okay. And now you said you get them new chargers. How do you get this funded?
So the chargers themselves, I typically have the company pay for. Like, I'll contact Emporia and say, hey, I'm doing a recharge rescue. Do you want to give me a charger? Your name will be in the video, and I'll say, hey, this was provided free of charge by Emporia. And they do. Every company I've ever asked that says, sure, Tom, give me the address, we'll ship it out. But everything else I foot the bill for. I fly there, I pay the electrician. 100% comes out of pocket. On average, it costs me $3,000 to $5,000 per recharge rescue episode. It's a very expensive endeavor for me. It's not actually a money-making video, but I make money on my other videos, so it all washes out. And I really feel good about myself doing these. So it's part of why I do them, is I just think it's the right thing to do, and I'm raising public awareness.
Right. And now, in your rescues, have you noticed a theme? Is there some underlying error that pops up? Yeah.
By far, the biggest problem are the NEMA 1450 outlets. I have slowly, I went from saying, well, make sure you have it installed properly, and it's an industrial grade outlet. It's not a regular NEMA 1450 outlet. It's one that's rated specifically for electric vehicle charging. I went from that to now being anti-1450 and recommend everybody don't use it anymore. Pull it out and hardwire your charger. It just introduces another potential failure point, and I've seen so many of these. The connections inside the NEMA 1450 outlets, from expansion and contraction, loosening up over time, arcing, causing a fire. It's just not worth it. I'm kind of taking a hard line on that. But if you really want to use a charger with a NEMA 1450 outlet, make sure the charging equipment has temperature sensors in the plug. Some portable chargers and some wall-mounted chargers that plug into NEMA 1450s have a temperature sensor on the prongs. So if it exceeds, I think it's like 150 or 160 degrees, charging shuts off. And that doesn't happen if there's no temperature sensor. And, the circuit breaker doesn't trip. Power just keeps flowing through there until there's a fire. So, that's my recommendation on that.
Along that line, are there any recommended home chargers that that have the temperature sensors and have all these safety features that you would like to see?
Yeah, I don't want, there's some for sure. The IELO is the latest one that I just reviewed. Really good charger, new, just came out of the box. Tesla portable charger has temperature sensors. There's another a list of others. I should have put together others. I didn't. I don't want to name a bunch and leave some out. Most don't have it. But if you're serious about getting one, they will front and center list that in their advertising because it's something to be proud of. If the charger doesn't say temperature sensors in the plug, it doesn't have it.
Okay. That's good to know. Now, you've traveled quite a bit. Like you said, you go out on, in fact, on your own dime, which is really surprising. Can you share some places you've gone to in the last year or two?
Oh, wow. So I actually just came back from China on Sunday. I was in China for a little bit with Electron. I don't know if you're familiar with the company Electron. They make adapters and chargers. They're coming out with a new home charging solution. And they gave me a factory tour of their factory where it gets made to really go over like quality assurance and quality control, how they thoroughly test the chargers to make sure before they leave the factory everything's good in the adapters and so forth. I'm going to Arkansas tomorrow. I was in Tenerife, the Canary Islands, about a month ago. Bogota, Colombia, 2 months ago. Lisbon, Portugal, I think in December. Canada twice, and a bunch of states. California. I went to Florida. God, it must have been about 10 months ago. I made a video about this. A friend of mine that lives in a town here in Chester. He's an older gentleman. He's 80-something years old. He wanted to get a Tesla specifically for the FSD, the full self-driving. He's getting older. He says, sometimes my eyes aren't as good as they used to be, and I think this will just be an assistant to help me drive, to help me make sure I'm good. But the problem is he has a home in Florida and home here. He lives there half the year. He lives here half the year, and his registration, everything's in Florida. So he had to buy the car in Florida. He couldn't buy it here in New Jersey and register it here. Tesla's not like dealerships. You could buy a car at a dealership here and transfer your Florida registration, but you can't a Tesla car because something to do with the fact that they're not a dealership and whatever. We went to the Tesla stores here. They wouldn't let him do it. So we had to fly to Florida. I flew with him to help him, went to Florida, picked up his car, and then we just turned around and drove home. So that's why I went to Florida. And I drove the whole way and I showed him how to use FSD and everything. And it was all like a spaceship to him. But now he's had it for like 8 months. Absolutely loves it.
Terrific. Now, EV adoption is highly politicized lately. Is it the same all over the world, or is it just here? Have you noticed?
Just here.
Just here.
I've been to 10 different countries in the last year and a half, and in no country is there this type of politicization of electric vehicles. It's we're destroying ourselves from within here. Not just with electric vehicles, with almost every subject. If I like something and you're on the other side of the aisle, you must hate it. I don't know how we got here, but we're here right now, and it's unfortunate because there's nothing, in my opinion, more American than driving on domestic fuel. Electricity is 100% a domestic product. Never going to import it, and you can make it yourself. And it's energy independence driving on electricity. It just doesn't make sense. But there's a lot going on in this country right now that doesn't make sense.
Now, you've seen here domestically, what we have available. But in the other countries you've been to, what kind of brands or models have you seen that caught your eye?
So, well, in Europe, Volkswagen, BMW, Mercedes are all over. But I will tell you that the Chinese electric vehicles are starting to proliferate across Europe, in Mexico, soon in Canada. We're going to literally be the island that that doesn't have Chinese electric vehicles. They're everywhere else, and they are absolutely fantastic vehicles. And I've been going to China since 2016. I've gone there a bunch of times. I can tell you something. In 2016, 2017, Chinese cars were not good at all. They were low quality. They couldn't compete globally. what that country has done in less than a decade is nothing short of absolutely amazing. I mean, I guess Japan did it in the late 60s, early 70s, kind of, but what China's done is compress that timeline. It took Japan 20 years to go from making these tiny little tin cans that, people kind of laughed at, to in the late 70s, early 80s, where all of a sudden Toyota, Honda, Nissan started taking a huge chunk out of domestic automakers' pie. But China's done it in like 6 or 7 years. And they're a global powerhouse. And I really wholeheartedly believe that, 10, 15 years from now, China will absolutely dominate global automaking. I don't see how they can't. The cars are absolutely amazing. I've driven BYDs, Li Motors, Zeekrs, Xpeng, Neos. Their level of quality, the level of connectivity that you have inside the car is better than anything we've had. And now, for the first time, Tesla's being outsold in China. They led their segment, they led their category. BYD now is honestly taking over the global lead as being like, the number one electric vehicle maker in the world.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it for my list of questions. Does anybody else have a quick one for Tom? Let's check our chat. Let's see.
So I've been reading the chat, and there were lots of comments from Rick, and I appreciate the interaction and your comments, and from everyone else. Ken had a question that was not exactly related to this, but we have something to talk about later to that effect. But and also Europe has brands that we don't have, right? So they have Peugeot, Citroën, MG, right? Well, MG is Chinese or British?
Chinese now.
Chinese.
They got bought.
Yeah.
And they still have Opel.
Yeah.
When's the last time you saw an Opel? Yeah. DS, their luxury. They have a lot of models we never see. A lot of brands.
Yeah.
And the Volkswagen Group has also, in Czechia they have Škoda, and in Spain they have Seat.
Yeah. And Cupra.
Yeah.
I think Cupra's coming to the US.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Is Cupra by itself, or is it part of Seat?
No, it's not by itself. It's owned, I believe, by Seat.
Well, which is
just the brand is coming. Just Cupra is coming now.
Right. And they all fall under Volkswagen.
Yes, it's Volkswagen Group.
So so it doesn't matter what name they put on it. You can eventually say they're all VWs, and that's it. Just the easy way for them to do it.
In Romania they have Dacia.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's Romania because
and then you have the Korean companies that the Hyundai Group.
Yeah.
Well, all the vehicles they have that we never see.
Yeah.
We never see these vehicles because they're electric.
And they manufacture them in Europe as well. Models that we will never see because Europe is okay with smaller vehicles because smaller is more practical. It's cheaper. It's cheaper to run, right? You need smaller battery to achieve the same range because you have lower weight and
Well, you also have to fit it on the road. You have to be able to park it someplace, and an F-150 doesn't fit in everybody's driveway. It's just too big for a lot of people, and that's majority when you walk out my street. And I live on a tiny urban street. There are wall-to-wall pickup trucks and large vehicles. There are very few small vehicles, and
Dennis,
they're not practical.
Everything looks huge next to your smart car.
Yeah, that's true. But even with the Tesla is a small vehicle.
Hey, Tom,
it's
quick
really
question.
big.
Great seeing you again.
Sure. Hi, Mario.
Question for you. What new EV are you most excited about?
Bolt. because it's affordable. If it, that's what we need. We need affordable electric cars. But if you want to go beyond that and say, okay, 1A and 1B, probably the BMW iX3, great performer, super long range, legit 400-mile driving car, and it charges like a beast. DC
right?
fast charges. Yeah, DC fast chargers incredibly fast. It'll add 200 miles of driving range in about 11 or 12 minutes. 200 miles of driving range, which is like, I mean, you can barely plug in, walk inside the Wawa, use the restroom, get a coffee, and come out in 12 minutes. And you've got 200 miles of range. That's 3 full hours of driving. So it nearly, puts you in that gas refueling space, So yeah, probably BMW iX3, Volvo EX60. That's another one.
How many cars can you fit in your driveway?
Well, I think 32 Ford F-150 Lightnings in my driveway when I had a Ford F-150 Lightning get-together barbecue. I had 2 of them, actually. I have a long driveway. It's like 320 feet long, something like that. So I can fit a lot of EVs here. I think Stan has seen quite a few EVs in my driveway, too. I used to have an annual EV barbecue. And I did it, I don't know, 3-4 years in a row, Stan. And
well, the last time was, I think, when we opened the Central Jersey chapter in 2019, and then the pandemic came and everything was upside down after that.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, those were always fun. So yeah, I can fit a lot of EVs here, and I could charge a lot of them up also as they're here.
But speaking of having some social events with New Jersey Electric Vehicle Association, we had one very successful last year in August. We called it Kilowatt Cookout. It was organized by Ashley Lynn Kwa. She's our policy lead, and she's now actually one of the board directors at the National EVA. We are planning another social event this summer. We are currently seeking for venue, finalizing date, and we are looking for volunteers to help us set it up. So we need more volunteers than money. We actually do have some funding for a splashing party, so that's a good place to be.
All right. I think I hear Tom's mother calling.
Yeah, I gotta punch out, guys. It was really good talking here.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, keep up the good work, everyone, and keep plugging in.
Yeah.
Plugging in, charging in. Have a good night.
Yeah, Stan, let me know if there's another time you want me to come back. Maybe I could stay longer. I don't mind. Whenever you want me on, just
we
give me
love
an
to
invite.
have you here because you always have great content. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
You too. Bye. Okay, Stan, can we get back to our slideshow? All right. For national news, this is unwelcome news, but it is news. The 5-year Surface Transportation Reauthorization, the Build America 2250 Act, funding highways. The Transportation and Infrastructure Committee Chairman, Sam Graves, I'm going to leave out political affiliations, and the committee's ranking member, Rick Larson, proposed a $130 fee per year on drivers registering electric vehicles. $35 fee for a plug-in hybrid. I don't see a fee on a hybrid, a straight hybrid, but on a plug-in hybrid. The fees would,
of course, that's zero because it's a gas car,
Yeah, but they're still penalizing efficiency. The fee would take effect at the end of September 2027. Another article I had seen said it would actually start October of this year with the new fiscal year. So it would go up in steps to $150 for the battery electric vehicle and $50 for the plug-in hybrid vehicles. And that would be by the year 2030. Contrasting that to gas cars who pay somewhere between $73 to $89 in federal gas tax each year, and this is according to Al Gore and his organization, we're paying double. The proposal is for the EVs to pay double what a gasoline-powered vehicle pays. States would be forced to collect the fee and remit it to the federal government. So it's something to lobby on, something for you when you speak to your representatives, make them aware that we don't support this.
Yeah,
we're already paying the state.
Yeah, and I just want to add that New Jersey EVA is now working with Sierra Club with Charge EVC, and we'll see what we can do because this is just wrong. Unfortunately, it's a bad habit. One state, I don't know which one, it was started with flat fee. And after that, all other states start copying, and they just change the value, how much they want to collect. It has nothing to do with how much you drive. It has nothing to do how heavy is your vehicle. It's just in New Jersey, it started with 250. Now it's around 280 or something thereabouts. We are in favor of mile-based system. That would be simple. That would not recognize any state borders because, you know, we may travel to other states and some other people from out of states will travel back to New Jersey. So as opposed to having some device plugged in that tracks you where you are, it's much simpler to just collect based on how much you drive as long as you are registered in New Jersey. So this is just high level, but we will start fighting it at the state level. And I'm pretty sure that Plug in America is already on alert about the federal, the one that you see on the screen, as well as our national EVA. And we'll be fighting it for you. Okay, so this is how it makes really worth to become a member of EVA. Back to you, Denis.
Yeah. And if you realize this is their second bite at the apple, they tried to do this last year and withdrew the proposal. So lobbying against it was successful until now, so we lobby again. There's a reason for us to be members of the organizations that we are. All right, please continue. Next slide. Okay, something from international news. We're going to contrast Australia to the United States. This might be where we're headed. Australia just turned on its biggest ever clean energy project. It's large enough to power the entire country during the day. The Western Downs Renewable Energy Hub in Queensland covers 18,000 hectares. I looked it up, I Googled it. It's about 69 square miles with 6 gigawatts of solar panels and 4 gigawatts of wind turbines operating side by side. We've got a lot of empty space in our country. We could probably find 69 square miles when we add it together. Doesn't have to be contiguous. We've got the room. In Australia, solar panels are generating the maximum output midday, just like here. Wind turbines compensate. So for the morning and evening, when the solar drops, the combined output curve is flat, remarkably flat for 18 hours a day. The facility connects to Australia's eastern grid through a dedicated 1,000-kilometer high-voltage transmission line built specifically for the project. So again, it's 621 miles roughly away from where they use the power. We can do the same thing. We were doing the same thing with the NJEVA program. That's been on hold, and if we get it back, we can continue doing the same thing. At this point, Australia has now hit 40% of its total electricity from renewables, cutting their national electric cost by 19% since the year 2022. So when people tell you it costs more, it's not practical. We have a real life example where the prices have gone down because of renewables, not up. In Australia, they're displacing 14 million tons of coal combustion annually, accelerating their clean energy transition by an estimated 6 years. And I give you the citations here. We will post the slide deck at the end, and you'll be able to look up some of these references if you're interested. Jobs. The renewable transition in Australia has created 3 times more jobs, as many jobs as the fossil fuel industry jobs that it's replaced. So it has other benefits. It's not just, it's cheaper. We give more people employment. It's here. It's domestic. We don't rely on a boat to come from the other side of the world to bring us energy. We have it here. And it's driven down the cost of electricity prices in some regions in Australia and reduced their coal share to historic lows. And the United States has also gone to historic lows in coal usage. We just don't look at it anymore because it's a power source we're forgetting about. Unfortunately, we've replaced it with a lot of oil, but we are replacing it. Stan, next slide, please. Okay. The 40% renewable milestone, they achieved it through massive solar adoption, rooftop solar adoption, meaning people's homes, rapid large-scale project rollout, strong policy support, and grid modernization, all by decades of research, technological progress, cooperation at the national and state levels. 7 years from when they opened their first large-scale battery till now, it took them to hit 40% renewable. 7 years. It's not a long timeline. Stan, the next one, please. So we're going to change gears. We have a National EV Summit coming up on May 30th. It's in Denver, Colorado. It's the Mile High City. I don't think people will be that high when they get there, but we'll find out. It's more than an annual meeting. It's our National Electric Vehicle Association meeting. It's our chance to meet others from other states and probably from our own state also. Many of the top EVA chapter leaders will be there sharing experiences, insights on how to help expand and enhance our chapters, our educational events. Whether you're new or experienced, there's something for you to come and look, to learn from, and people to meet. Continue. One more. Best practices. Part of the program is sharing best practices by chapters for chapters. The various states will have all of them represented. Come out, educate, don't advocate. Power in partnerships. Delegate to elevate. Event excellence. Chapters leaders playbook for high impact events. Speak with finesse to the press. The open tent strategy. How to recruit, retain, and energize your chapter. Things that will help us grow as an organization, get the word out, get people to understand that it's not just an EV, it affects other things in life. It affects your life. You just don't realize it. The EV Summit schedule. A reception will be held Friday evening on May 29th for members who arrive early. Saturday is the actual program. The EV Summit runs from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Hilton Garden Inn in downtown Denver. The program includes breakfast and lunch, beverages, and snacks on Saturday. Dinner is on you at that point, if you're still able to eat. How to register for the EV Summit? Online registration is now open. $59 per member, $89 per non-member. Participants pay their own transportation to get there and go home. National board members pay their own way. Chapter representatives are paying their own way. The EV Association is not paying for that. Attendees are responsible for their own travel and hotel arrangements. Paid registration again includes breakfast, lunch, beverages, snacks, plus the capacity of the building and education sessions. So all the hotel accommodations that are available for us for the meetings are there. Now, we'd like to introduce for the Delaware Valley Tesla Owners Club, the panel, I guess we'll call you a panel. Well, Chris Celek, the executive director for the EVA, the national group. Stanislav, we've already introduced you. Scott Phillips, the president of the Delaware Electric Valley Association. And we're going to talk about potential merger or invitation to the members of the Delaware Valley Tesla owners to join the EV Association.
Denis, thank you so much for the introduction. I just want to say thank you to Sid, Rick, and Viviana, and everyone from the Delaware Valley Tesla Owners Club board for joining us today and for reaching out to us regarding the situation that they didn't choose to because of the Tesla brand. So we are really humbled, and we are very happy that you are considering our membership. And today we would like to answer any questions that you may have. I just want to double check, Chris. Could you please unmute yourself and say a few words about you? Chris Celek is our executive director for about a year, and he came from, he's based in Ohio. Chris?
Sure. Thank you, Stan, and thanks to the whole New Jersey chapter for the invitation. And this is the second or maybe the third time, Stan, that I've been able to join your group, and always look forward to it. You guys are so active and busy, and a lot of great information so far. My role is to help answer questions for the Tesla owners group members who were visiting tonight about EVA nationally. Stan and the New Jersey members certainly can talk more about their local chapter and their activities and things, as well as Scott representing the Delaware EVA members. But I will tell you very quickly that the Electric Vehicle Association nationally has thousands of members in 56 chapters. They're very similar to Tesla owner clubs. We're in 32 states, and our members are focused primarily on providing ride and drive events and other EV education activities in their communities, with other community groups, with schools, with universities, with local and state governments, with utilities. So we also do, as you heard the New Jersey team mention, we do social activities. We do meetups for our members as well. Those activities are organized by local members at the chapter level. EVA nationally is one of the national organizers of Drive Electric Earth Month activities. In April, last month, there were 183 Drive Electric Earth Month events around the country. EVA chapters organized 85 of them. We partner with Plug-in America, the Sierra Club, and a handful of other groups to present those events around the country and provide a lot of the national support and sponsorship to do those events in April for the local chapters. We also do that in September and early October for what's called National Drive Electric Month. Very similar focus, very similar ride and drive events and other types of events around the country. And EVA chapters, again, provide the lion's share of those events. Nationally, we're the back office support staff, if you will, for local chapters. We provide online payment tools. We provide this Zoom platform for virtual meetings for chapters. We provide email applications for chapters to use if they want. We handle payments and banking for most of our chapters. We have 56 chapters again. About a dozen of them are actually their own independent 501c3 nonprofit organizations. Most of them operate under EVA's national 501c3 nonprofit status. We are led by a national board of 11 volunteers from across the country. We have a small but mighty national team, all of whom are our EVA members. I'm an officer of the Ohio chapter. We have a communications director based in Phoenix. We have an accountant based in Houston. We have a IT operations manager based in Austin. And we also have a graphic designer to support the national organization and to support chapters and their events. So, Stan, I hope that's what you were looking for, and I'm going to hang around to answer questions. So.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Scott, would you like to say a few words about the Delaware Electric Vehicle Association chapter? Since I don't hear you, I can say a few words about the New Jersey chapter, which I didn't say before. Besides all those activities that Chris mentioned, one of our specialty is electric vehicle first responder workshop. You are probably very familiar with what I'm talking about because you have your own crash course. Our program is very similar, I would say. We have two parts, 1 hour instructor based, where our speaker is Mike Hornsby, followed by about 1 hour of in-person. I mean, the whole thing is in person, but the hands-on activities with electric vehicles, first responders are looking for the disconnect. And we really try to frame it also together with Sustainable Jersey, because towns that are running for the certification, Sustainable Jersey certification, one of the mandatory actions to earn 15 points in the EV friendly category is first responder training. So we are very proud of our program. And just kind of flash news, our presenter, Mike Hornsby, he will be recognized in the upcoming national meeting as a EV Educator of the Year. It's a national recognition. We are very proud that he was selected. So that's our activity. And I would like to open it to you for questions. If you would like to learn more about what we do and why it's beneficial to join Electric Vehicle Association. In this specific case, we are talking about New Jersey chapter, and we have Scott Phillips from the Delaware EVA. Because there is technically no chapter in Pennsylvania or in the Philadelphia area, I said it many times. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
So I apologize. I'm going to have to get off the line. My mother is in the hospital and possibly dying right this moment.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I will not be able to continue this conversation. My email is scottphillips912. If anybody would like to be in communication about what DEEVA does. Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Stay safe.
Dan, I could pinch hit for Dennis or Scott, excuse me, real quickly. Yeah. We do have a chapter that Scott leads that represents the state of Delaware. Additionally, we do have a New England chapter that's based in central Massachusetts, not in the immediate Boston area, but roughly halfway. Most of their activities are in the communities halfway between Springfield and Boston. And then we have a new chapter that just launched a month or so ago in Maine with it is a statewide chapter, but most of the members are in the Portland area. So I saw that the Tesla group appears to have members, representatives up and down the coast there. So those are the locations that we have active chapters.
I will state that our membership, because we were formed out of Tesla Mid-Atlantic, was exclusively Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware, with a couple stragglers in the northern end of Maryland just across the border. So Massachusetts and Maine aren't relevant.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. We do finally, Sid, have a chapter which is called the DC EVA. Its members, or that chapter rather, has a pretty large footprint across Maryland as well.
Yeah. In the sense of, okay, because our charter, when Tesla had such a charter, covered Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware, basic answer is there was another group that took the charter for the rest of Pennsylvania. And at this point, we are referring people in Pennsylvania to Tesla Owner Club Pennsylvania, Tesla Owners PA. We are offering anybody a choice of all three. We are not saying where they have to go, okay? But if you will, we're giving them 4 choices. Choice 1, to an alphabetical order, if you will. Choice 1 is Delaware. Choice 2 is New Jersey. Choice 3 is Pennsylvania. And choice 4 is do not release my information. We are paying the full freight for their membership for the first year. And actually, for our higher level members, we're going to pay for 2 years up front. We are not asking them to pay a penny. We have the funds because we've been teaching crash course a lot longer than anybody else has. We were very successful with it, and we have a surplus of money left over from that. Our crash course started back just about the time Tesla came out with the Model 3. And we started originally teaching it to police forces, and then migrated more to teaching it to first and second responders, being fire and rescue groups and tow groups. Okay. So, our course is 2 hours of classroom and 2 hours of in the field.
This is fantastic, Sid. And, you know, maybe I should say it at the beginning that we really are grateful for everything that you have done to support electric vehicles. Yeah. What you have done was just is amazing, particularly the crash course. And I'm also reading the comments here, and I really appreciate what you guys have been doing, because without you guys, Tesla wouldn't be Tesla.
Yeah, well, most of us who founded this thing go back before Tesla DVTO. We go back to Tesla Mid-Atlantic, which basically goes back to 2013 or I guess 2013, 2014 timeframe, long before the Model 3. Okay. And that was when Tesla was very involved with the clubs.
Yeah.
I don't want to go through the Tesla history. It's not worth it. Just so your members are aware, since at this point, there are very few of our members on the line here. Okay. Just 1 second here.
But we do have some questions in the chat though. So yeah, go ahead.
No, as such, only 5 of the 23 people who signed up to come tonight, only 5 showed up. Of that 5, there are only 3 or 4 of us still left on the connection, okay, from DVTOC. Okay. I have the lists. I've been comparing them versus who's here in the room. Okay. But basic answer is that, for lots of reasons, we have decided not to continue the club. And given our surplus of funds, we are offering our members to, if you will, pay for their way into other groups. Okay. We're not asking for you to reduce the rate or anything like that. We are going to pay the full rate.
Very good. Michelle has a question about transferring to NJEVA. I think there was maybe confusion here. The form that you received, Sid, correct me if I'm wrong, is about stating your preference. At the end of the voting period, there will be one lump sum transferred to EVA, and everyone who wanted to be transferred will be electronically entered into our database. So we have a process for that.
And Chris, we'll be sending you one check to cover all the dues for everybody for the 1 or 2 years as appropriate.
I mean, that certainly makes sense on our end. We want to help you and your members simplify that, so it's
Yeah,
pretty.
we're gonna basically send you an import. We'll send you a CSV file saying what to do, so you can just do a direct import with all the information you need, and we'll send you a check to cover it.
Terrific.
And let you guys handle it and take it from there.
Yeah.
I know that NJ wanted to get some members in before their board meeting, board elections. That's
Yes.
up to I don't know when your elections are. I'm willing to cut a tranche before that, but I only want to issue one check in full at the end to try to make our life easier.
Right. So thank you for reminding me. We wanted to have a board elections this month already, but we really want to empower your members, and we would have one seat at least reserved for someone from your existing group, so that they can take more actions and make decisions about the New Jersey chapter. That's how much we appreciate that you decided to transfer your members to New Jersey chapter. So we will have the elections as soon as the transfer is complete. We will have a call for candidates, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, that's fine. Just Chris, so you're aware, the option to move runs through the end of the month. Anybody who does not respond by the end of the month has by default selected to do not release our information. Now, if somebody reaches out to us just afterwards and sends an email and says, "Oh, I meant to do it and I didn't," yeah, obviously we'll handle that. But we had to put an end point in the sand on this.
So you all have been working together and talking through everyone's questions and concerns. I appreciate the attention that you paid to this on behalf of the Tesla owner group members, but also for the New Jersey and Delaware chapters, so that they can prepare to welcome you and get everybody involved. So.
Okay, if there are no other questions, I just want to go through the chat because we have some other items that I would like to address. And
Stan, again, do that. I'll ask a question, but you go first.
Yeah, so Rick just signed off, but I really appreciate Rick is the founder of the Delaware Valley Tesla.
No, hold on. I have to correct. Rick has never been an officer of the club ever.
Okay, I'm just reading out of the chat.
Rick was a founding member. He joined at the time we organized. He was never an officer in the club.
Okay, I'm just reading out
I understand.
of the chat.
Yeah, I understand. I just wanted to correct misinformation.
Yeah.
Something else.
Okay, so some of the questions here. What will the impact of AI data centers with regards to electricity availability to charging centers? You mean charging stations? Well, we are all competing for electricity, but the problem with AI and the data centers that they do not follow any low demand behavior. And actually, the amount of energy that they consume is just substantially higher than
Stan.
charging. Yes.
Yeah, actually, sorry, I'm back. Okay. And I don't know if anybody saw this, but there was a headline out of Nevada this last weekend that said that the local power company has given 50,000 people 12-month notice that they can either rebuild their grid from scratch or have no power next May, because the power will be redirected to a data center.
That's I cannot confirm or this news,
Yeah.
but that sounds bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the future.
So in New Jersey, our legislators are very proactive, and this is not going to happen.
Well, and not only that, but as the power grid for the area, PJM, does not have the ability to allow that to happen. PJM can say that they can restrict load, but they can't disconnect people from the grid. It's a different world in different parts of the country, Dennis, okay?
Yeah.
PJM, I don't know if people saw this, but finally decided to streamline their operations for bringing new power onto the backbone, in particular in regards to renewables. PJM has been one of the leaders in the US in saying we can handle a lot more renewables than anybody thought we could. And their current number that they are prepared to handle right now in percent of intermittent renewable power on the grid is in the 40 to 50% range. They're not saying it can't go higher. They're saying that's what they're prepared to dispatch and handle today. Okay. There are other parts of the world that have gotten it up to 80.
Yeah.
My background is power.
Very good.
Terrific.
So one of my clients for years was PJM.
There you go. Ken, you had a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is going back to the national EV fee. I know from personal experience that representatives do not care what you think unless you are in their district. So this is something that may fall towards national, but it might, if we can figure out a way to get people to reach out to the sponsors of that bill in Washington and Missouri and any other sponsors that end up coming up, have them reach out to their representatives specifically with this topic, and also that's reinforces why it's important, even in states like New Jersey, that you reach out to your representative and let them know how you feel, because bulk mailing somebody in California, they don't care. They don't care what you think unless you're in their district. And just something to maybe drive the letter writing or the lobbying campaigns. If there's anything that the national group has access to or resources for, that's one way to go.
Very good comment. Thank you. I have a suggestion. I'm going to turn off the recording, and then we can go to a more private session about that. If you have been watching this recording, thank you so much, and make sure that you check out all other events.